Chapter 7: Loops and Functions in Python. Learning Objectives. Iterative Statements. Components of a loop. Types of loops. Function. Components of Python function. Types of functions. Creating a function. Calling a function.
Ma'am, how can we write code to print a statement or execute a particular section of codes as many times as we want?
Children, we can repeat a set of statements for any number of times using iterative statements. Iterative statements. Iterative statements are the statements that repeat a set of statements for any number of times specified as long as the given condition is true. And in general, these statements are terminated when the condition becomes false. Iterative statement is also known as a loop. Let us understand iterative statements with the help of an example. Suppose x is a variable with an initial value 0. When you specify a condition x less than 10, the value of x must be checked each time and it will be incremented if the condition evaluates to true. That is, x is equals to x plus 1. This checks the maximum number of repetitions, which is 10 in this case. This process will be repeated until the value of x becomes 10. It means that the loop will repeat 10 times before terminating. Components of a loop. The main components of a loop are as follows. Initialization. Initialization is the process of assigning an initial value to the loop control variable. Test expression. A test expression is a condition that is used to check whether the loop body will be further executed or not. The loop continues to execute until the condition or the test expression is true. Body of loop. The body of a loop contains several sets of statements that are required to iterate or repeat. Step value. The step value is used to update the loop control variable continuously until the final value is reached and the loop terminates. Control variable. Each loop works with the help of a variable known as control variable. A control variable is a program variable that is used to control the flow of a program. The starting value of the control variable is defined at the beginning of the loop. The final value of the control variable is then specified. In the final line, the step value of the control variable is specified. The step value is the value that is increased or decreased by the given value at each step to reach the final value. Types of loop. In Python, the two basic types of loops are as follows: while loop, for loop. While loop. The while loop is the simplest kind of loop among all the looping structures. The number of iterations is not always known. In this case, the while loop is used. In Python, the while loop is used to execute a block of statements repeatedly until a given condition is true. When the condition becomes false, the statement immediately after the loop in the program will be executed. Syntax: initialization, while, test expression, body of loop or set of statements. Step value updation. Let us understand the concept of while loop with the help of some examples. Example 1. To print the set of natural numbers from 20 to 40. Program. Output. Example 2. To print the table of a given number. Program. Output. For loop. The for loop is used when the number of iterations is known. In other words, this loop is used when you know how many times a loop will be executed. This loop is also known as a definite loop. Syntax: for variable in sequence body of loop set of statements. Here, variable is a counter variable. It is used for iterating over a sequence. On each iteration, it takes the next value from sequence. That is, it increases until the sequence is reached. Example: to print each letter of a string. Program. Output. Range function in for loop. The range function returns a sequence of numbers that starts from 0 by default, increments by 1 by default, and ends at a specified number. For example, range 100 will generate a sequence of numbers in the form of a list from 0 to 99, that is 100 numbers. Syntax: for variable in range value : if you want to start with a specific number, you must change the increment value. This can be done by setting the start, stop, and increment values in the range function. Syntax: for variable in range: starting value, final value, step value, : Let us learn how to use the for loop with the help of some examples. Example 1. To print a series of natural numbers from 0 to 4. Program. Output. Example 2. To print the sum of first 5 natural numbers. Program. Output. Example 3. To print the even numbers between 1 and 20. Program. Output. Function. In computer programming, a function contains a block of organized and reusable code that produces a particular action for which it has been defined. A function is generally used to achieve code reusability and modularity in a computer program. In simple words, a function gives the specified view of a complex computer program where a loop is written many times. In Python, you can define any number of functions as per your requirement. Some important features of function are given below. Simplified view. A function provides a simplified view of a program as it organizes the code in a meaningful way. Reduces chances of errors. A function is defined once in a program. Thus, it reduces the chances of errors. Reduces code length. In programming, we can reduce the code length using functions because the same block of code is not required to be written again and again at different places. Code reusability. Code reusability is an important component while making large programs. Using functions, we can reuse the same block of code again and again. Components of Python function. A Python function consists of the following components. Name of the function. A function name should be unique and can be easily associated with the action it will perform. Arguments. The input given to the functions are referred to as argument. A function can or cannot have any arguments. Statements. Statements are the executable instructions that the function can perform. Return value. A function may or may not return a value. Types of functions. Python functions can be classified into two categories: built-in functions, user-defined functions. Built-in functions. Python offers a wide variety of built-in functions such as range, input, type, len, and lower. These functions can be directly used in a Python program. Functions. purpose, syntax, example. Len calculates and returns the length of a string. Len string underscore name. str equals to computer, print len str, output 8. Lower converts all the uppercase letters of a string to lowercase. String underscore name dot lower. str equals to computer, print str dot lower, output computer. Upper converts all the lowercase letters of a string to uppercase. String underscore name dot upper. str equals to computer, print str dot upper, output computer. User-defined functions. User-defined functions are created by the user as per the need of the program. Once the user defines a function, then the user can call it in the same way as the built-in functions. Creating a function. To create a function, follow these steps. Step 1. Define a function using the keyword def. Step 2. Assign a particular or meaningful name to your function. Step 3. Pass the input values to the function by writing the parameters separated by commas in the parentheses following the name of the function. Step 4. The body of the function contains Python statements that make our function meaningful. Syntax. def, function name, list of parameter 1, parameter 2, body of function. Calling a function. A function should be called after defining it in the program. To call a function, we type the function and pass the parameters. Example: def area l, b, len equals to l, bre equals to b, print len multiply by bre, area 7, 5, output 35. Example: write a program to print a string by calling a user-defined function. Program. Output. Example: write a program to check whether a number is even or odd using function. Program. Output. Example: write a program to check whether the triangle is isosceles, equilateral or scalene. Program. Output. Tricky terms. Reusability, state or quality of being reusable. Modularity, use of individually distinct functional units. Memory block, iterative statement or repetitive statement refers to the statement that is used to repeat a set of statements for the number of times specified as long as the specified condition is true. A loop is also known as an iterative statement. A control variable is used to control the flow of a program. In Python, the two basic types of loops are for loop and while loop. The while loop is used to execute a block of statements repeatedly until a given condition is true. The for loop is also known as a definite loop. The range is a built-in function that is used to generate a sequence of numbers in the form of a list. The final value is always one less than the last value in the specified sequence while using range function. A function contains a block of organized and reusable code that produces a particular action for which it has been defined. There are two types of functions, built-in and user-defined.